Geno, since the loss to Villanova, I think your team has won 7 straight by an average of more than 39 points a game.
Say it again?
Since the loss to Villanova, I think your team has won 7 straight by an average of more than 39 points a game. So can you just talk about where they are headed into the tournament in terms of where you had hoped they'd be at this time?
Well, the way the season went, there was really game to game. There really wasn't any expectation at one point. There was just let's just try to win this game and see if we can't get everybody back. A little bit here, a little bit there. The Villanova game was maybe a game where we had a chance to see ourselves as an okay team when we don't necessarily and operate in a way that we need to operate. I think there was also a little bit of we caught Villanova at a really, really good night, and there was a little bit of fatigue on our part. And since that game, we've been different. We've had a different mentality, a different energy level, and we've got more players back. But I'm not sure that's going to mean anything going into next weekend. You almost got to start all over.
Geno, you happy with where the defense is right now? It seems like you guys are doing a pretty good job that side of the court.
Yeah, I think so. We have certain groups that when they're in there together, they play really well defensively. We have certain individuals that, they kind of spark the defense, and it kind of catches on with everyone, and everyone gets into the act. But we're creating more offense from our defense, and that's always been the game plan. But it's actually starting to happen now. The last 4 or 5 games, especially. But our league is better. It's a better league than I think it gets credit for on the outside, and so because everyone beats each other, there's it's difficult for those teams to keep moving up. But I'm hoping that come tournament time, everyone will get a chance to see that we have 4 or 5 pretty solid, pretty good teams in our league.
Paige got 5 assists, team-high 5 assists in 13 minutes today. What did you like about the way she played and her overall progression since she came back?
I thought she would take it slow, and she has. I thought she would be very, methodical and very cautious and not take a lot of chances, which she hasn't. And I thought she would, do exactly what she did. She would come out and pass the ball. She does that when she's healthy. So I would expect her to come back after not having played and testing out her new knee, that it would be more of the same, pass first and worry about scoring later. So nothing surprising about what she's done.
Geno, anyone leaving college this year really didn't get the experience they signed on for with the 3 seasons disrupted by COVID. Are you kind of happy that, your seniors, at least for these last 8-9 games, kind of got that UConn experience, the big crowd, everybody healthy, that they kind of leave with, at least with that taste?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. They really have had an experience unlike anyone else's experience that's come through here in the last 25 years. And that's not just basketball-wise. That's just school experience-wise. And you can easily get frustrated and kind of feel like you were cheated a little bit of a certain expectation that you had of coming to UConn, and it was going to be a certain way. And what always made playing here so great was, what you saw at the XL Center the last couple of times we played there, and what you saw today here at Gamble, that kind of environment, that kind of atmosphere, us playing that way. And some of them had never experienced that. There's a couple that never had experienced, senior night. And I'm glad, you're right. They got a taste of it. They didn't get all of it, but they got enough of it. And next weekend at the Big East tournament, hopefully the crowds will be big. Hopefully the games will be great. And they can get, that next installment of what, UConn players have come to expect.
Geno, this is a Providence team that played you a lot closer in Providence because they beat you to a lot of balls, out-hustled you. You like how far your team has come in that regard? I mean, you're back to winning those 50-50 balls and out-hustling teams and not just winning on talent.
Yeah, there was nothing about that game that went according to plan, and it was probably the first time that things have been so disrupted that I thought it had an effect. But I don't think it had as much of an effect as, you're playing at Providence. Their defense was really good. Our offense was stagnant. We didn't shoot the ball particularly well, and our big guys weren't particularly good. I don't know that we did anything to help ourselves at their place. And the game actually started here the first 4 or 5 minutes exactly the same way, and it wasn't until we were able to use the depth that we've acquired to kind of turn the game upside down. So that's probably the biggest difference in the team, that now we have an ability to change the narrative and not have to stick with it.
Geno, in the first half, the 4 seniors took 30 out of the 40 shots. Was that by plan, or what does that say about their teammates that they were willing to defer so much to the other team, to the senior class?
I don't know. I mean, E didn't take any shots the other night, and she didn't have any assists tonight. I don't think she had one. So I don't know that was like her teammates looking for her or E looking for her. And then, we said we wanted to take advantage of our size advantage inside. And I thought Liv especially, and Dorka as well, and then Aaliyah, I thought they were really, really good inside. And that really set the tone for the game. Once we established that, everything else kind of fell from there. But players do have a tendency to, want to, make the senior night great for the seniors. I mean, you can only take that so far. You still got to shoot it when you're open and not pass up easy shots. But I like how unselfish we've been. This team is, stayed in that UConn mode of being very unselfish. I don't know how many assists we had today. Not as many as the other day. We had 20. Yeah.
Geno, I was wondering, when did you first know about Dorka? Like, did you know of her like before this year as a good player for Ohio State? And how did you come in contact with her? And also, since her little coming out party against UCLA, like how much has she meant to this team on the court?
I remember briefly, very briefly, when we played Ohio State. I want to say Dorka may have been a freshman, but I don't remember much about it. I remember that it was a really, really close game, and Crystal Dangerfield played great in down the stretch in the fourth quarter. But I don't remember much about their personnel. Then in the whole portal thing, somebody contacted us. They contacted us, say, hey, there's a kid that, is looking to move on, and I think she might be exactly what you guys need, and so we started a conversations with them, and that's kind of how it happened. It wasn't it wasn't where we contacted her after she got in the portal. We found out about her after she got in.
Coach, Aaliyah Edwards came off the bench tonight, but has really found a groove over the past month, recording at least 5 rebounds in all but one of the past 7 games. What would it mean to this group if she's able to keep this kind of progress rolling in the postseason?
Well, it will give us a better chance to win. It's what she did last year. It's what she did in the Big East tournament. It's what she did in the NCAA tournament. Aaliyah's completely different than Dorka and Liv. So she gives us a dimension that we don't have, because defensively she can guard more ways and more places than the other two can. And when she's as active as she's been on the offensive boards, like she has been the last couple games, I tell our guys all the time, whenever we shoot the ball, they should view it as a pass to them, our post players. And some of our guys, when they shoot, they are definitely passing it to a post player. And every once in a while it happens to go in. So I think they're taking it to heart and going after a lot of shots, and it's paying off.
Geno, 2-part question, if you don't mind. Can you talk about Olivia Nelson-Ododa and what, again, 13, 8, 3 assists, 2 blocks, just kind of filling stat sheet the way she has, pretty consistently for the last couple of seasons, her development. And the second part, other than getting healthier, what are the most important things to get done in these 5 days off before you play Saturday?
The big thing you can say about Liv is that she has been consistent. There's no 35-point, 25 rebound games from Liv, but there's also a ton of 15 or 16 point, 8 or 9 rebounds, 4 or 5 assist games. So you've come to expect certain things, and generally that's what she delivers. And her defense has improved. She's improved mentally, I think, over the 3 years, and one of her issues was how inconsistent she was, and I think this year we benefited from how consistent she has been for the most part. What happens these next couple days? Couple days off. Play better man-to-man defense, rebound better, things that are going to be huge going forward, To me, those are the 2 things that stand out in every postseason game, how you got to play defense, you got to play man-to-man defense, you got to be able to guard different kinds of players, and you got to rebound. That's it. I mean, if you can do those 2 things, the other part will take care of itself, That's the focus this week. righty.